Good morning, everybody. Tequila here with episode 2 of Tequila's Tower. And today we are going to start out by looking at the stats. So I am currently sitting at 308.5 billion lifetime coins. And if we compare that to last video, I was at 213 billion. So I have made roughly 100 billion coins in the last week. So pretty good. That's roughly 50% of what my total lifetime coins was last week, and I've made that in the last 7 days. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I know if I had a little bit better of a schedule, I could have made a lot more. Um, Also, this week, I had the best ever Tier 1 farm that I have ever ran. In 16 hours and 13 minutes, I was able to make just under 25 billion coins. It was like 1.5 and change billion per hour. So uh, just over a billion and a half per hour. And that got me thinking that I should try farming a little bit above tier 1 again. And as we talked about in the last video, I was trying to save up for the third spotlight, and I remembered there were milestones. And so I went and tried tier 5 milestone run, which at the time I had just under 1200 waves, and I completely shocked myself and was able to pull out 6400 waves on tier 5. The last milestone push I did was somewhere around 55 billion lifetime coins, now sitting at 308. That's quite a big difference there. But with that, I was actually able to go ahead and afford not only the third spotlight, but also several levels into my duration for both Black Hole and Golden Tower. A little bit of shift from what we talked about last week. I am planning on getting my Black Hole duration up to a 32-second and my Golden Tower up to 44 seconds. That way, whenever I take the perk, they're sitting both at 44 seconds, and that gives plenty of time for every other black hole to guarantee kill every protector with a little bit of extra wiggle room. As soon as I get my durations where I would like them to be, then I'm going to start, like I talked about, continuing on keeping the Golden Trinity plus the Smart Missile sync at um, until I get it down to 2 minute mark. I am still fully planning on completely ignoring Chain Lightning. On my account, Chain Lightning is completely useless, and it will remain that way forever. Hang on one second. Sorry. Um, as far as um my cards are concerned, following that same gym buying tip from last week, I was able to purchase my 14th card slot, allowing me to run intro sprint all the time on my farming run. And I plan to probably stop this spending strategy when I get to, I'm going to say 16 cards. That way I can definitely not have to worry about cards anymore. I want to get to that 16 mark. But I know they start getting ridiculously expensive. My next card is at 2,500. But I fully plan to listen to whatever the event missions say. I did also roll my modules substats for my Dimension Core. I have legendary black hole size and angle for Spotlight now. The Smart Missiles is kind of whatever. It just lets my stuff actually deal some damage, but I'm not really focused on that because I am running Orb Devo still. Uh, I am really hoping. I think it's been like 3 or 4 events now that we haven't been told to pull for modules. So hopefully this event asks us to pull modules, and I can get some of these up to legendary ideally. I could switch out to a Singularity Harness, but then I would lose my G comp, and I really like that cooldown reduction. So I don't plan to swap that off. I will likely run G comp until I have permanent black hole. Um, so hopefully we get to pull some modules this event. Uh, I have no idea though. I am also getting pretty close to maxed out cards here for the commons, so that would be very nice as well. Just kind of depends on what the event says. But as I said, I am going to get at least one or two more card slots before I do anything crazy with cards or modules. As far as my labs go, my lab 1 is going to be purely dedicated to whatever I am working on with smart missiles specifically. So once missiles radius is maxed, I'm going to swap in spotlight missiles. I'm only unlocking spotlight missile here for the next tournament, and then I'm going to stop it until radius is maxed and it'll go into lab slot 1. Labs 2, 3, and 4 are pretty much dedicated to econ. However, I will swap in some defensive or utility. So like if you look here, I got a couple quick levels in cash bonus. I really like doing labs that are super cheap and fast. So as you can see, like all of these cash bonuses were done in one day, like just a few hours apart. And I really like doing that. And then whenever it starts getting to an actual uh, time cost, then I will quit. But it's nice getting those early levels. If you couldn't tell, I'm not following any form of efficient paths or anything like that. I'm just kind of winging it as I see fit. I do plan to get my health and attack speed up a little bit, maybe even critical factor. Um, Likely critical factor in first because attack speed's already decent. Um, I did get an extra level into health, and but I am primarily focusing on econ with a little bit of defensiveness in here. And then lab 5 doesn't exist. It will be lab speed until that is maxed in 14 years. And then, as I kind of touched on in the beginning of the video, I think I'm going to start doing my tier 3 farm while I'm at work. I have to go several hours without accessing my uh, tablet to be able to do any form of the perks or uh, workshop upgrades. So because of that, I have been farming tier 1, but I'm looking this week to start farming tier 3 pretty much exclusively. When I'm home after work, I'm able to get decently far without undevoing. I was able to break 5,000 waves once. And sorry, my wife's trying to get the kid in the bed. um, and then lastly here, my absolute tyrannical guildmaster, Mr. Spartan here, made sure that I would call out his Discord, which is where you would likely be able to find me for the most part. It is extremely active. It is full of all kinds of very helpful players. Um, the player questions right here is my favorite channel. I'm always asking questions in here. I love to just get in here and chat with people. I'm on most nights around 9 p.m. Eastern, where I can hop in and hang out. And then there will be a link for that in the description. And then uh, on a side note, though, Spartan is a fantastic YouTuber. He's not actually tyrannical at all, but I would like to give him a huge shout out. And then also on Mother's Day, I would like to congratulate him for expecting his second baby. And I think you guys should go check out his channel. He's a big reason as to why I've gotten as far as I have so far. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. I really appreciate anybody who's made it this far. And just remember, it's a good day to have a great day.